Michael Brown. That was an Akata. His daddy is an Akata. And it's a shame. Because his dad, so he was just like destined. I always said any celebratory come Guzzler Harris by these mammies is all fake and phony. Because if any of these mammies supported that whore.
Nation, one nation. But joy cometh
Come
in the
on,
morning.
Joe!
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
Ooh, Joe, we gonna get through this together. Oh yeah. No, y'all ain't even considered. Y'all ain't even in the boat. What's up, everyone? Axel here of axtruth.com. And this is where I cut through the bullshit. I want to follow up on something I didn't finish in my last video about, because I've been doing a series just now on, BLM and the black eye that's in their face for the video that's out here and the commentary that can be given. And I think I cut it up the best. When it came to that black female that confronted the BLM, the white liberal rioters, protesters, paid protesters, and the few windmill and mammies they have set up in their ensembles. Well, and then I talked about the toddlers, the future Akatas of America. The culture, the environment they're raised in. And they grow up with a certain type of mentality, and the cops have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis until they're locked up in juvie or dead. One or the other. Well, there was a quote, the journalist who broke the story. Her name is Sheila Qualls. And here she is, right here. She has a website. And her website is the notsoexcellentwife.com. And she gives a lot of great information on that site that has to do with marriages and everything. It's a really good site. I haven't got to look at everything on it, but you could tell this woman has a value system. She grew up with structure and value. But she's the one who broke this story, right? It says journalist Sheila Qualls shared the story first in her column for Alpha News, where she wrote that the behavior of these children is eerily similar to the behaviors of the rioters who burned and looted Minneapolis 2 years ago. They cursed, berated, and struck the officers with their fists. This video is disgraceful, heartbreaking. It is unsettling to law enforcement officers who encounter this behavior daily. It should be frightening to us all. It should be embarrassing to leaders who have failed to lead a community towards virtue and morality, Qualls wrote. We can do better, and we must. Let's stop playing politics with our children's lives. I do not believe this is what civil rights leaders wanted for the future of the black community. These children and our country deserve better. Bravo, Miss Qualls. Brave woman. She wrote about this first on her website for Alpha News. This, like I said, that was some damning video. What are the Khazarians going to do now? What is the ADL going to do now? See, they don't like me anyway, them ADL folks. Y'all out here, the Anti-Defamation League and all that. You out here fighting for the rights. And what's the ACLU? Them two? What y'all going to do? Because we're seeing it with children, toddlers acting like this towards the police. And you want to continue with this fake narrative, this false narrative, this lie. And Black women's. Are y'all going to continue this lie with your children? I sit them down at 16 and have the talk. None of them sit them down and sit at 16 and have no talk. They ain't sitting their kids down. They can't sit them 16-year-olds down to have a talk. They too busy twerking. Twerking and lurking. I'm being facetious. But there's some truth there too. They ain't teaching these kids how to read and write, how to graduate from school and have some skills to go out here and do something to make a living. But they want to talk about there's a wealth gap. Well, dummies can't get good jobs. Dumb people who don't pay attention in school, don't know nothing, can't comprehend anything. Too busy cussing and looking on phones and selfie taking and doing the cell phone thing to work seriously on anybody's job. What kind of, they supposed to make 6 figures? They can't read. They read on a 3rd grade level. That's what they're graduating high school with. But we got to hear about racism and white supremacy. And it's the school system, X. The school. It's the school. They give more money to the rich the white areas. They have new books. And these kids go to school and they have used books that came from the white schools. A book's a book. Open it and read it. I don't care where the books came from. They ain't trying to read it anyway because they can't read. And the mama too busy somewhere twerking because she don't even know her child can't read. She don't care. He get passed through school every year. Just push through, a push through. And them push throughs go on and get accepted at the white liberal college. Given a grade because they're going to make sure these people can't learn that easily. They're a little less of. They raised in horrible conditions. We have to give them a boost by just giving them the grade and giving them the degree. An affirmative action. Check the box. We just put another one through. Here's their degree, but they're not good at what they got their degree in. They don't know anything. And you don't think the people aren't seeing this? I'm talking to the pro-black, the people that look like they always need a leg up and a handout. Leg ups and handouts sometimes is a hindrance, a permanent hindrance. And you don't need a leg up in college. You don't need a leg up. You need to be able to perform at that level. Get the work, get your assignments in and do it at that level. That's why they test you in school to make sure and let you know if you're college material or not. Because you're not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to write the paper. You know how when you're in the 11th grade, from 11th to 12th, you start writing papers, and that shit never stops. Actually, it starts in the 10th grade. Every year I'm going to write a paper. I got to do what? I got to make sure, I have it has to be properly written with an opening, the middle and the transition and the closing, a conclusion. And you got to do footnotes and all that. You got to keep doing all this. I got to do all that. Yeah, you got to do that. You want to go to college, right? You in college preparatory classes, right? Well, we're preparing you. And see, my English teachers didn't put me through 69.5. F. You asleep in class. You didn't want to read the book when I told you don't read Cliff Notes because I'm going to ask questions that's not in Cliff Notes. I read Cliff Notes anyway. Failed a test. And she didn't put me through. I had to go to summer school to make that up. I got an A. But I had to go there and not get my diploma with my class because they wouldn't even letting you walk, which is that's good. You shouldn't be able to walk like you're getting something and you get a blank piece of paper because you haven't finished the work. Don't reward them. Then they had some kind of standards. Now they just let you walk on through, walk them on by, give them a degree, Give them their GED, because, and send them off to college and give them their degrees. They couldn't keep up. They didn't turn in the assignment. They don't know anything. Well, let's just put them through, because we got to put through a certain number of minorities, or we can be considered racist, or the system is set up for that's going to hinder them because, they can't learn too quick. They can't perform well. They grew up in horrendous conditions. So we got to give them a leg up. We have to give them the grade. We're not going to teach them how to get the grade. We're not going to teach them how to study, how to keep up. And if they can't keep up, they need to get out and go do something else. A leg up. And all these affirmative actions and picks and check the boxes and numbers and quotas and stuff like that. We just going to put one in because you're black, not because you deserve it, not because you earn it. Because we don't want you to feel bad because you're not performing at the level of everyone else. Your business can't compete in the marketplace. So we got to sit up here and say, support black businesses. When I tell you, I cannot believe the cracker liberal and the bagels pull that on the mammies and the Sambos, and they think that is something to say. And they don't realize how degrading that sounds. This is a black-owned business. Support this black-owned business. Black people, go out and support your black-owned businesses when you should be out supporting businesses based on them earning your support in the marketplace, because you have to compete. It's not a black marketplace. Your customer base, you're not going to be successful if you only sell, unless it's something that's designed strictly for ethnicity, for a black ethnic thing like hair products or something like that. But if it's a restaurant, you want to feed all types of people that wants to come and try and eat your cuisine. If you're selling goods, clothing, you want everybody to come in your store to buy clothes, not just black people. That's the problem I have with this support black business little colloquialism, mantra, hashtag, whatever you want to call it. Because you're telling someone that support this business just because the owner is black. What does that mean? No other race does this type of crap. No other race do this. And I don't think anybody goes into a place of business and say, what color is the owner? I'm pretty sure I've supported a lot of black businesses, just didn't know that a black person owned it. A lot of athletes own regular things, and celebrities own like an IHOP or something. You wouldn't know if they owned it or not. But should I go there because a black person owned it? Or should I go there because the service is good and I've been there before? The staff is friendly and the restaurant is clean. But anyway, back to, I just want to say, just bring up the fact, I know I went off on that one, but that's what I do, I talk. But I want to just commend journalist Sheila Qualls for what she said, and how the civil rights leaders would be so disappointed in what they're seeing, how this black community is acting today. And I'm going to say this in closing to you boomer blacks, because I ended with civil rights and the civil rights leaders, if they were alive, the ones who did the marching with Dr. King. Now, I ain't talking about John Lewis, because he's one of the Sambos with this defund the police crowd and all this stuff like this Black Lives Matter bullshit, the white liberal cracker shit. I'm talking about people like, what's his name? Portia's grandfather. But other people who marched and actually did the work through the civil rights era, they would be so disgusted with how black people, what the black community has morphed into, what they're out here defending and fighting for criminals. And it's the boomer blacks. It's y'all. It's your fault. You are the ones who have created this culture and keeping this bullshit going on. You're the ones who keep acting like this is a racist country and we still fighting for racism because you wish it was the time, you still think it was the time when y'all was actually doing something. That's not going on now. There's nothing stopping black people from doing anything in this country. but black folks. And that slave mentality that they can't do nothing because they black. And then they gonna put CRT in school to reinforce that shit. And you got the mammy windmilling and the Sambo windmilling for that. For black people to be indoctrinated to believe that they are less of than everybody else because of the color of their skin. And they should be entitled to be given something and not earn it. I'm Axel and I'm out. Put your comments below and tell me what you think about Sheila's statement and everything I said in this video. And join me tomorrow night. No, not tomorrow night. Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. for my live show. That's on all platforms except ScrewTube. Peace out, everyone.